So in this video, T is for track record. I'm going to help you to know how to assess the developer's track record and also how to assess your own track record of investments. First thing, beware of false labels. When you go to the supermarket, you can clearly see eggs labelled as fresh and natural without necessarily knowing that they have a really sucky life and they're not able to move around. You also get eggs that are labelled as free range, where you think, oh, they get to wander around. But actually what happens is that they're still caged inside, maybe the roof comes off. So unless you have that measurable impact, you don't know what you're going to get. In a similar way, there are some projects out there that are pitched as affordable or sustainable, but you don't know what you're getting unless there's measurable outcomes. So knowing the track record of everyone involved is really important. How do you actually assess a developer's track record though? Well, the longer that a developer has been in business for, the more property cycles they've seen, the more they've seen the boom and the bust times, and they're going to be a lot more risk aware and able to mitigate those risks. I give an example in a book about a gentleman called Simon Peters, who is a great mentor and friend to me, who's probably one of the most experienced developers that I know. He cut his teeth in his 20s doing developments over in New Zealand. He did affordable housing complexes with the Auckland City Council and was also the first person to buy airspace rights in Auckland as well. So Simon's experience, he's been in the industry for 35 years. He's completed or facilitated over 1,000 projects with a value of $500 million. So he's an example of a really experienced developer who's been around for a number of property cycles and knows where the risks are and how to avoid them. So that's one thing. When it comes to looking at your own track record, what you really need to look at is, how do you invest in property in the first place? Now, there's a lot of talk about negative gearing, but it's not something that I actually endorse. In 2019, of the 2.2 million Australians that owned investment properties, 58% of them made a loss on those properties and they claimed them against tax, and that's classed as negatively geared. And we all have people that have a great story. You know, I bought the property for $350,000. I sold it for $500,000 a few years later. I made $150,000. That's fine, but it really doesn't take into account management fees, all the costs that were paid out of their pockets, all the capital gains tax that was paid on the sales figure. And then even with those tax deductions, you're still losing money hand over fist over that period of time. Even if you do make money at the end. Now, on the flip side, if you're dealing with positively geared properties where the income is more than the expenses, yes, you pay tax on your extra earnings, but you also have extra money left over. And wouldn't you rather have extra money left over than be in the red? Because when you've got a lot of properties that are draining you, it's really not much fun. Investing in positively geared properties means that you have sustainable cash flow. It means that you can actually go again and invest in other projects as well that are going to make an impact. Speaking of impact, in our next video, we're going to be talking about H is for high impact. So I'll see you over there.